Hello everybody, this is the first video I'm gonna make on my channel. This is a printer, the Epson F-170 SureColor. Here we're opening it up on first impressions. So right off the bat we can see some styrofoam and also what looks to be some sublimation paper. So it looks like this paper comes in 8.5 inch by 11 inch and it comes with 100 sheets. So that'd be great for testing and seeing how the color turns out when printing. Alright, on to the next thing. Here we have some manuals, some important user agreements, whatnots, and some plastic bags. Looks like they gave me an extra bag for the printer. Alright, moving on to the taping. Looks like we got some tape as well. This is a heat resistant tape. And looking around, it's been packaged really well. On the side here we have some ink. Looks to be is 4-color ink. We got cyan. Here we have black. Got yellow. And last we got magenta. Now apparently these inks are a lot different than regular printer inks and the DTF inks. So here we're adding ink to the printer. It's hands-free, so that's nice. Alright, and here we're currently configuring the printer. It's doing the initialization process of charging the inks into the tubes and hoses, and this is the printer right out of the box. Looks pretty nice. It's a nice looking printer. Alright, here I'm on Canva. I've created a design to print with the printer using just the basic configuration. So here it's currently printing with the 8.5 by 11 paper that came with the printer. As you can see, it's going pretty fast, and the colors, it looks great. I have noticed that it doesn't print on any white on it, which makes sense because it doesn't have any white ink. Here's the ink levels. So far it hasn't used that much ink for this. Alright, we're about at the halfway mark now. It's almost done. There we are. Colors, the yellow, everything just looks so vibrant. It could be due to the image resolution as well and the quality of it, but so far the printer was able to transfer everything over to the paper. And here we are. Welcome to Dirty Sensors. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do some testing on the print. I'm going to try and put it on just regular base wood that I have laying around. So stay tuned, let's do it. Alright, here we have the printer working on the file. So far I've got 2 images loaded up on the printer. So it's printing out the first image at the moment. This image is a piece that I made for a wedding invitation. It was a project that I did for a while back for a couple. And please note that the couple itself is not a real couple. It's just a placement for where the real couple will be. It's basically a template. So we're about halfway now with the first image. It looks pretty well. And again, it didn't print the whites, but the color still looks great. Alright, now moving on to the second image. This image is going to be a race car image. Perhaps setting would be in the future. Almost like this speed racer kind of image. Or scene. Sorry. So it got the cars, the big fat tires, the sparks going everywhere. This should come out looking nice. And here's the paper coming out. There's the first image. And the second image is almost finished. Alright, there we go. It pushed it out. Let's have a look. There's the first image. It does look kind of dull. And there's the second image. I've read somewhere that the colors will all come out once it's been pressed. Alright, now we're down at the heat press. I've already preheated the heat press to 315 degrees Fahrenheit. And I've set the timer to 40 seconds. I've read that you should set the temperature a little higher, but unfortunately my heat press doesn't go that high. So I've put it on to the max, 315, and now I'm gonna preheat the baseboard, trying to get all the moisture out. I'm gonna put it down for about a couple seconds, maybe 15. Alright, now that's done. Let's go ahead and lift up the handle. Take out the wood. You gotta be careful because it's a little hot. And let's go ahead and line up our images face down to the board. That way the ink will be able to transfer it. Alright, there's that second image, and I'm gonna line it up to the top a bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the first image on as well, so I can get both at the same time. Alright, and as I'm doing it, I'm gonna lay some butcher paper on to keep the heat press clean so the ink won't, well, not spill out, but the gases won't release onto the heat press. It'll be collected onto the butcher paper. Alright, so I'll let it press on for about a minute for good measure. Let's see how it turned out. Alright, lifting up the heat press, the butcher paper slides right off, and was gonna wait, but apparently the paper actually slid off the wood before I can let it cool down. So, but it didn't ruin it. There's that second image right there. It looks pretty vibrant, considering there's no white or anything. There's that first image. Overall, I'm happy with the results, and everything looks really clear and nice. Colors looks really good, especially that red and that blue. And here is especially that red on that rose, and the green, the pinks, the faces, they all look really nice. You can actually see the individual hairs on his beard. So I'd say this test was a success. It could look better if it was on a white background, but it's wood and you can see the grains in it. But overall, I say it looks really good, and the test was a success. Alright, and that will be it for the first video. I would like to thank everybody for staying tuned and bearing with me on my first video. Hopefully my journey will grow, or I will grow maybe as a person and as a sublimation printer or as a crafter. You never know what the future will hold, so I hope that you'll stay tuned with me and that we'll grow together in this journey. Thank you, and I hope you have a great and wonderful rest of your day.